I stood rooted to the spot, my eyes locked on the towering steel fence that now blocked the only road to my ranch. It was welded shut, unyielding, with bold red signs screaming, "No trespassing, private HOA property." But this wasn't HOA land, it was mine, my 30-acre sanctuary, bought with every cent of my life savings. I wasn't part of any HOA, never had been. Yet there was Lisa, the self-appointed queen of the neighborhood, standing with her arms crossed, oversized sunglasses perched on her nose, and a smirk that could curdle milk. "Sorry," she said, tilting her head like she was savoring the moment. "This road belongs to the HOA now. You can't pass." I blinked, my blood boiling. "Lisa, this is my land. That fence is illegal." She shrugged, her clipboard swinging like a scepter. "Take it up with the board," she said, then turned and strutted down my path as if she owned the whole damn world. That was the moment I realized Lisa had cut me off from everything: me horses, my cattle, my tools, my dog, all trapped behind that metal wall. I couldn't even drive in to feed them. I rushed to the gate, gripped the bars, and yanked with all my strength, but it didn't budge. Welded tight. How had they done this without me noticing? As I leaned closer, my heart sank. A hidden camera, tucked in a nearby tree, stared straight at me. Lisa's son had set it up, watching my every move. Then, a chilling sound cut through the era revving engine. I spun around to see Lisa's golf cart barreling toward me, her face twisted with rage. She wasn't slowing down. What happened next would make headlines. But let me take you back to how this nightmare began. My name is Ethan Caldwell, a 47-year-old retired firefighter living on a ranch just outside a suburban sprawl in Texas. 8 years ago, I poured my life savings into this land, dreaming of a quiet life with horses, rescue dogs, and open skies, far from the city's noise. I kept to myself, free from any HOA nonsense, and most of my neighbors were good folks, ranchers, retirees, a few young families. But 2 years ago, the HOA from the nearby subdivision started creeping in, posting signs claiming nearby roads as their patrol area and hassling people about voluntary landscaping rules. Then Lisa arrived last spring, her moving truck barely parked before she declared herself the neighborhood's new enforcer. At her first uninvited community meeting, she stood up, pearl necklace gleaming, and preached about rules, beauty, and order. She wore power suits to mow her lawn, handed out pamphlets on elegant bush trimming, and demanded everyone's dogs be muzzled near her untrained poodle, Duchess. At first, I ignored her. I figured she'd burn out and move on. But one morning, she showed up at my gate, clutching a folder. "Ethan, I need you to fill out this property form for HOA compliance," she said. I laughed. "Lisa, I'm not in your HOA." Her smile froze. "That might be a problem," she said, her voice dripping with warning. Days later, a delivery truck couldn't reach my barn because of a new sign, "Road restricted. HOA permit required." I called the count to no record of any restriction. So, I started documenting everything. Every sign, every time Lisa's golf cart rolled onto my property line, every drone she flew over my ranch for community mapping. Things escalated when I skipped her mandatory landowner orientation. She retaliated with fake code enforcement complaints, trash, noise, livestock issues. My permits were in order, my animals healthy, so nothing stuck. But the harassment never stopped. Then came the pink tape and wooden stakes around my ranch's front path. Lisa and her HOA cronies claimed the road through my land was a shared HOA access road. It wasn't. My deed confirmed it was mine, grandfathered in. My lawyer, Sarah, sent Lisa a notice to stay off my property. That's when the real war began. One night, I heard welding sparks in the dark. I ran out, saw silhouettes working fast, but by the time the sheriff arrived, they were gone, and the fence was up, steel bars, spiked top, padlocked. The deputy said I'd need a survey to prove it was my land, which would take weeks. Lisa knew it. The next morning, she stood by the gate, sipping iced tea, smirking. "It's for neighborhood safety," she said. "We can't have strangers here." I snapped. "You've locked me out of my own home." She didn't flinch. "Maybe join the HOA. We could work something out." It wasn't about safety, it was about control. She wanted my land. For a week, I hiked through the woods to feed my animals. Delivery drivers wouldn't come near. My vet couldn't reach my sick mare, who nearly died. I called Sarah, the news, and started filming every move Lisa made. My videos went viral, and she hated it, reporting them for harassment and claiming I threatened her. But the truth was in the footage. Then came the day it all spiraled. I was inspecting the fence's welds, wondering if I could torch it open, when I heard a roar. Lisa, in her golf cart, was speeding straight at me, screaming something I couldn't make out. I jumped back, but my boot slipped on a rock. Her cart slammed into the gate, metal crunching. She groaned in a heap, her clipboard flying into the dirt, spilling maps marked with my land's coordinates. I scrambled to my feet, palms scraped raw, heart pounding. Lisa lay there, clutching her leg, her designer sunglasses cracked. But my eyes were on the scattered papers. I grabbed them before she could stop me. "Don't touch those," she hissed, but it was too late. The documents were fake surveys and lot diagrams labeling my land as an undesignated HOA access zone. One page was a letter to the county requesting access rights to my road. She was trying to steal it legally. "You forged these," I growled. "They're community enhancements," she spat, still on the ground. I called 911, not just for her injuries, but to document everything. Neighbors gathered Tom and Clara, an older couple, Mike, my mechanic friend, Rachel, my vet tech. They saw the fence, the crash, Lisa's lies. The sheriff took the folder, his brow tightening. "These are serious accusations," he said. Karen, in an ambulance, whined about her shattered ankle and HOA injustice. Sarah, my no-nonsense lawyer, told me to save every video, photo, and message. "This isn't just a fence," she said. "It's attempted property theft, maybe felony fraud." 2 nights later, my dog's barking woke me at 3 a.m. Flashlight in hand, I crept to the fence line and saw 2 men in black cutting the fence from the inside, moving it 10 feet closer to my barn. She said, "Push it forward," one muttered. I shouted, "Hey!" They bolted, dropping bolt cutters. The sheriff confirmed the fence had been shifted, now with cement posts. Lisa was doubling down. I didn't wait. Sarah filed an emergency injunction to stop Lisa's actions until we could prove my land title. The catch? We needed the original handwritten land grant, locked in a courthouse vault 120 miles away. Mike drove me there, and after hours of paperwork, we got a faded document proving the road was mine in perpetuity. But back at the ranch, Rachel texted, "Sheriff's here. Animal control too." Lisa filed a cruelty complaint, says your animals are starving. I raced back to find Lisa playing the victim, claiming I'd blocked the vet. I showed the deputy my videos of hiking through woods to feed my animals. We inspected the barn, clean stalls, healthy horses, happy dogs. "No neglect here," the deputy said, closing the case. Lisa stormed off, her poodle looking embarrassed. That night, my power went out. The main line was cleanly cut sabotage. Then Sarah called. "Lisa's filed a motion to rezone your land as common property. If she won, my ranch could be swallowed by the HOA." I was done playing defense. I compiled every piece of evidence, deed, videos, Lisa's forged maps, and Sarah arranged an emergency county meeting. That night, a drone hummed over my house. I fired a flare to scare it off, and Lisa posted online, claiming I'd shot at her security patrol. At the zoning hearing, Lisa sat smugly, but Sarah presented our evidence: the deed, the drone footage, the forged maps. The room went silent as we played video of Lisa's men moving the fence. The zoning officer rejected her rezoning request, and a judge issued a cease and desist order barring Lisa from my land. 3 days of peace followed, until a boom shook the ground. Smoke poured from my shed. I sprinted over, kicked the door open, and found hay ablaze. I doused it with a hose, heart racing, and spotted a gasoline-soaked rag and a torn page from Lisa's petition, her signature clear. This was arson. I called Sarah, who alerted the ATF and fire marshal. Investigators swarmed my property, confirming the fire's intent. I uploaded everything: online videos, photos, the burn site titling it. HOA president tried to steal my ranch and burn it down. The post exploded, drawing support from across the country. A local news station aired the story, and Lisa's world crumbled. The HOA disavowed her, admitting she acted without approval. A search of her home uncovered blueprints, surveillance printouts, and a chilling transition plan to resolve resistance permanently. Her accomplice confessed she'd paid him to sabotage my ranch. Lisa was arrested, kicking and screaming. With her gone, the fence came down, and a protective order kept the HOA 500 feet away. I sued them for emotional distress, trespassing, fraud, and arson. The judge awarded me $75,000 from Lisa and fined the HOA for negligence, forcing a public apology. Her mansion was sold to cover fees, now a dog park named Caldwell Freedom Field. But Lisa wasn't done. Out on bail, she filed a defamation suit, claiming my videos ruined her. Sarah buried it with evidence, and the judge dismissed it. I launched Fence Line Defenders, a group for HOA victims, growing to 5,000 members. Then I found a letter from Lisa. I was wrong. I hope you'll understand. I didn't reply, but I kept it, unsure if it was regret or manipulation. Months later, clearing brush, I found a stake marked Lot B, Future HOA Expansion Zone. A new real estate sign stood nearby, linked to Lisa's sister. The fight wasn't over. Sarah and I rallied Fence Line Defenders, filing an injunction and releasing a documentary of Lisa's crimes. At the rezoning hearing, I spoke. This isn't just my land, it's every landowner bullied by fake authority. The room erupted in applause, and the board rejected the rezoning. Lot B was sold, the HOA backed off, and peace returned. At a community cookout, neighbors laughed and shared stories under the Texas stars. I stood on my porch, sipping sweet tea, knowing I'd fought not just for my ranch, but for everyone who'd faced Elisa. And I'd fight again if that pink tape ever returned.